In Revelations, it is written that God stands at the door and knocks, and anybody that answers the knock, he will come in and eat with them. And so it is God coming and doing, but you answering there, right? And I've heard a word picture before that Satan crawls in through the window, that the enemy doesn't wait for you to knock, but he tempts you. He climbs in another way, or as Jesus would say, who climbs in by another way that's not the door into the sheepfold. Putting those images together, I had this sort of image in my head going through things in a series that we did at my church recently of Jesus standing at the door and being the filter. And anytime I was tempted or the devil, was tempting me, it was him crawling in through the window. So then more recently, I had this question of like, well, if Jesus is always with me, God is always with me, and he's at the door, he's watching Satan and demons climb in through the window and mess with me and tempt me. And so why is he letting that happen? Not, God, how could you? But like, I'm curious. Like, Lord, explain to me where I'm wrong in that thinking. And the same way of answering the door, God is giving you the ability to do something that you can't do on your own, but it's an ability that you have. So the way that he put it into my mind was that you can say, hey, Jesus, zap him. Like, hey, Jesus, that demon that's messing with me, that temptation, that's not from you. You hear that and you're like, that's not something God would say to me. That's not the voice of my Lord, because I'm spending time with God. I know what he sounds like. I know the things that he says. That contradicts the Bible. Everything needs to be filtered through that. And so all I have to say is, Jesus, zap them, and they're gone. But God loves us enough to not take away our free will and not, protect us so that we have no choice. So those things are still allowed to happen, but God is so good that he will bring about good and growth from even those bad temptations. And so it's continuing to turn back to him. But whenever you're in a situation of those struggles and that war going on inside of you, you are literally able to say, Jesus, zap him. Like, get that guy out of here. By the power of the creator of that demon and of me and of everything that's been made, you're not welcome here. Go on and get. And so it was in that it sort of expanded my mind, expanded that mind picture, because I didn't realize I was thinking about a very claustrophobic little space with just enough room for me, and they're right there in the window. And so now, the windows are so far away and everything's brightly lit, and as they walk up down the long hallway, I'm like, no, you do not need to be getting any closer. Jesus, zap him, and he's got the door, and everything needs to come through him, and so you can live there with your creator.